How's your day going so far, Professor?
Pretty good. I had my class just before this. We just did like Zoom meetings with individual meetings to go over their project. Remember the fan site?
Oh,
Yeah,
good time.
that's what they're working on right now.
Yeah, that project was fun. It was challenging, but I think it's fun.
Yeah, got to yeah, no, I think they're doing okay. It's hard online, but yeah, I think they're doing okay.
No, but I think the way you do it, it's pretty cool. It's pretty like it's not as hard as other classes.
Well, that's good to hear.
Yeah, it's because I feel like the way you do it, like even if somebody misses class because of an emergency, it's like really helpful that you record the meetings, and so
Oh, good.
technically they don't. It's not like they lost a chance to learn, but it's just there. So that really helps out, not just in that class, but in the classes that you teach.
I hope it helps with this class too. I'm really glad that there's so many resources for you guys with P5. You've got the Cadenza videos, you've got the Schiffman videos, you've got the book. I'm really thankful that you have all that to fall back on.
Yeah, that helps too.
Seems to be working. You guys have been doing great. Awesome. Let's go ahead and get started. We're gonna continue working with objects today. And let me go ahead and share my screen with you. Okay, so got some exercises for us. Let's see, where are we here? Just 2 exercises. The first one is we're going to make an object that's a button that when you click on it, it changes the color of the background. But first, before we do that, let me just to review, I'll walk you through the making of the button, and then I'll have you add the clicking functionality as the exercise for you. So let me go ahead and go to, wait. Okay. Okay, so we're going to make a class that creates a button, and that button's going to have a certain functionality to it. It's pretty simple functionality. Objects can have all sorts of different functionalities. This one's going to be fairly simple. It's detect a click and then change the background color. So let's just create that the class first, because remember, the class is the instructions on how to construct an object. It's not the object itself, it's just the instructions. So we're going to make a class. And let me know if I'm going too fast, because you're going to want to code along with me, because you'll be using this code for the exercise. So we're going to, with every class, you have to have a constructor. And this this class is going to make a square button. So I need to have an X and a Y and a width and a height. So I'm going to put the parameters in here that are going to be passed into the constructor. So oops, X, Y, width, height. And then the first thing I need to do is those are the temporary variables. I need to pass those variables into the button object when it's created. So this dot X equals X, this dot Y equals Y, this dot width, width, this dot H height equals height. So now I've got all my parameters in there. So now I'm just going to make something. I'm not going to do any functionality yet. I'm just going to make something, a button appear on the screen. First thing I want to do though is I want to change this to rect mode center, because that is just how my brain works. So we want to make a method, a function that is going to draw it to the screen. So remember, with classes, we don't write, when we make a function for an object, we don't write the word function, we just write the name of the function or the method. So I'm going to say render, and I'm going to have it draw a rectangle at this dot X, this dot Y, this dot width, this dot height. Okay, so I've got a constructor and I've got a method that's going to actually draw it to the screen. I'm just going to run this and make sure I don't have any errors. Okay, so we've got the class written. So let's go ahead and make that button. So we need to declare it at the top, let button. And then in setup here, I'm going to initialize that. So button equals new button. And then inside the parentheses, I'm going to give it the arguments that go with these parameters right here. So I need to pass it in an X, a Y, and a width and a height. So I'm going to put it in the middle. So width divided by 2, height divided by 2. And I'll make it, I don't know, 60 by 60. Okay. Still don't see anything. I've created the button. The button exists. I know that it exists because I can console.log, and I'll put button in here. And there it is. There's my object with an X, a Y, and a width and height. So it exists, it just hasn't done anything yet. So in the draw loop, I'm going to render it to the screen. So I'm going to say button dot, remember we're using the dot syntax, render, and that should draw it to the screen. Okay, so let me pause and let you catch up on here and get this code into open processing so you can work on the exercise. Do you need some time? Yeah, it went kind of fast. So I'll give you, a minute or so to catch up on that. And go ahead and give me a thumbs up when you've got all that down. Cool. Excellent. Awesome. Awesome. Okay.
I have a quick question.
Mm-hmm.
Why do we have to add the btn dot render to the draw? Uh, or why is the btn in the setup? I'm a little confused.
The object's name is BTN, for button. And in order to execute, now that button contains all this data and it contains this function. So in order to execute that function, I need to say button dot render. I don't put just render because I only want it the button to run its own render function. It's not like this function that I created is like a global function. I only want the button to run its own function because I might have more than one button and maybe I only want one of them to show up and the other one to do something else or something like that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna start with this code and you're going to alter it so that you have two buttons. Oh no, not two buttons. That's the next one. Sorry. You're going to alter it so that it does this. When you click on it, it changes the background color. So as a hint, you're probably going to need some variable that's going to store the color of the background, and use that in the background function. And you're probably going to need some sort of variable that records what color the background is at any moment. So kind of like a Boolean kind of thing that you might pass into the objects to control, to keep track of what color is on. So if it's white, it turns to black. If it's black, it turns to white. So you'll have to do a couple of those steps. I'll let you have a stab at this. And if you totally get stuck, let me know because you're probably not the only one. All right, ready, set, go. Oh, and you're gonna have to create another function inside of the class that is gonna check to see if it's been clicked on. And that's when you want to change the background. So you'll be adding another method to the class. Remember, take it in baby steps. Add the method to just detect if it's clicked on and just console to the log, at first, just to make sure that that code is working. And then go ahead and start trying to have it change the background color. Baby steps, baby steps. And then I've created a collection in, created a collection in open processing for that. Is anyone stuck on anything that I can help with?
Yeah, I'm stuck.
Where you at? What's the hang up?
I'm trying to see how to make the background change. Um, I already created. I can show you it. I'll save it right now.
Okay.
Um, eh, it's in my profile. It must be that one.
Okay, there we go. Okay, you've got, let's see.
So I don't know how to, cause I don't know how to where to place the background thing or how. I'm
Oh, okay. Well, you're off to a good start up here. You've got this global variable color C to control the background. But one thing you don't have in here is you don't have the background function that
yeah,
draws the background.
and I don't know where I should place it because if I place it in draw, it doesn't work because I guess color is not being defined there or something, or before that. I'm not sure
How
that works.
what I would do is you'd want to have background in draw because you want it to draw every time through the loop. And you've done the right thing here using the variable color C. So I'm going to put color C in here.
Mhm.
Probably going to give me an error because you didn't actually declare anything for it. And it's the first thing that gets executed here. So I'm going to go ahead and start it at white.
Oh, okay.
So now it's just a matter of how do you change that color, and you've got something going on here. Well, one thing you're doing is you're checking for like you're checking for a circle, and this is a square, so you would want
Oh,
a more elaborate, yeah, if statement here, but that's fine for now. So, and you got a good thing going on here. Color C equals false, but color C, this dot color C equals false. You're missing one more thing here. You need to check and see if it's white or if it's black. So let's say color C here starts out as true. Okay, that's good. Color C equals true. So you want to test and see if color C equals true, which means, I guess it means it's white, I guess, then change the global color C to black. Otherwise, it should be white.
okay.
So, and you would want to put that inside this code that's checking for the click, because you don't need to check that until it's actually been clicked. So it'd be something like if color C equals true, let's see, true equals white and false equals black, I'm going to assume. Okay. So if it equals true, then change the color and switch the, oops, and switch it to false. Otherwise, switch it to true. Otherwise, if it's black, make it white. Color C equals, oh wait, I have this reversed. This should be black.
Okay.
It should be white. Wait, I don't know if I'm doing this right. 3.
Are we missing one?
I'm missing a bracket. Doesn't look like expected. Unexpected quotes.
Um,
Oh, I think I was missing a bracket. Okay. Okay, so that is not working.
mm, let's see.
Okay, we're checking for here. Let's make sure the click is working. Console.log. Click. Yeah, the click is working. Oh, it's constantly working.
Oh,
Oh, you know what? You know why? You have to put this on a mouse pressed event. You have it constantly checking in the draw. You have to put this on a mouse pressed event because you only want it to happen once. So function mouse pressed. And then you called it what? Color button, that color background. Okay, now let's try that. So we just have 1 click, 2 clicks, 3 clicks, 4 clicks. Okay, so that's working.
okay.
So let's think about our logic here. Oh, I didn't say this dot color C. Always do
Okay.
that.
I don't really
There we
get
go.
why we have to put this dot.
This dot just means that we're just checking for the data inside of the object, because every button, you can make multiple buttons with this, and everyone's going to have, you might have a different X and a different Y. So you just want to check for the X and the Y and the width and the height of the particular object that you created. So that's why you use this. In other words, color C here, it's kind of confusing because you name them the same thing, color C, but it works. But this one right here, it doesn't have a this. So it's referring to this global variable that you defined up here.
Oh, okay.
But this dot something is just local to just the object. It's just, yeah, that's why it's called this.
And
So,
when you have more than one object, does it change or do you have to?
well, that's the beauty of it. If you have more than one object, they all have their own data. So it just depends on what data you pass in or what data it creates. And they're all going to have their own data. So if I created more than one object, one button would have button.x would be different than button.y. So we can console here button dot X. And it's going to give me the X of that button. If I had more than one button and I console both of them, I would get two different numbers.
Mhm.
So each one of them holds its own information and its own functionality inside of itself, which makes it really powerful because then you can have things that you don't have to write code to control everything in the draw loop. You have each of them control themselves.
Oh, okay, gotcha. That's really cool.
Yeah. Object-oriented programming.
Neat. What do you want? Function. Okay. I was missing a bracket too.
Oh yeah.
Those brackets.
I had a question.
Yeah.
So it only when you click the button, it only needs to the exercise only requires it to only click it once, or does it need to click again so it could go back to white?
Go back and forth like
Yeah.
this right here. Every time I click on it, it
Mhm.
changes back and forth.
Oh, okay. I was
Yeah.
just wondering.
So you need something, some sort of Boolean variable to keep track of, like, is it white or is it black?
Okay, I'll give it a try.
It doesn't have to be a Boolean variable. You could have like state number 1 and state number 2. That would work as well. You could use that kind of variable.
Okay, I'll give it a try, and then if I'm stuck, I'll ask right.
Let me know. Yeah.
Thank you.
Mhm. This is trickier than it seems, isn't it?
Yeah. Even though I was doing the same thing as you, I don't know what I did wrong, but it's not working now. But I'm checking. Something's missing.
So here's what I did with yours.
Thank you, thank you.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm getting unstuck on mine too.
Uh-huh. Let's see. Let's take a look. Save it. Did you save it?
Yeah, I saved it.
Okay. Okay, you've got the button up there. You've got a variable for the color and you're using it in the background. That's good. Now, so you're checking for a circle as well. But that's okay. That's fine for now.
Yeah, you didn't know what to put for the the square, so I just did it that way.
It's like we did before where you check with the mouse X on this side and this side and the top and the bottom. So it's more code. It's easier to check for a circle than a square. I understand that. So let's see. So if C equals 225, C equals 0, else C equals 255. This seems right, but for some reason, I did this before and it didn't work as well. I think. And I'm not sure why, because your logic is correct here. You know, if C, oh, maybe there. What are we canceling here? This was expected for a number in the third parameter is even enter value instead. On line 30. You're missing a semicolon there. This was expecting. Variable. The third parameter. This dot W is this dot W. That makes sense. Receiving an empty variable instead. The third parameter. Okay, let's see what's going on here. It's giving us an error with line 30. Oh, okay. Here's what's going on. You are you have a function mouse pressed, and you're using this dot inside of mouse pressed. This dot only goes inside of the class because it's referring to that specific object. This dot is not a global variable, it's a specific variable. So what you need to do is take this code and put it into a new method inside of the button. So let's say we call it click. And we'll take all of this. And put it inside of here. And then what'll happen is inside of mouse pressed, you'll call that function. Oh, it needs to be, what do you call it? Is it button click? Okay, so we're not getting any errors now. So did that make sense? You had this dot needs to be inside of the class. You can't use it outside of the class because it only pertains to the object and nothing else. It's not available anywhere else. So now we're starting it at 255. So if C equals 255, C equals 0. Otherwise, C equals 255. You would think this would work. And I think I had the same problem with this, that comparing those values didn't work, which doesn't make sense to me, but let me show you how I did it. What I did is I created one more variable and I called it white, and white starts out as true because that's the first color we have. And then I, oh wait, I don't need to set it up there. Sorry, my bad. And then I'm gonna pass in true here. I technically don't have to pass in true. I'm not gonna do that because it's just always gonna be white. So I'm gonna down here, I'm not gonna pass it in. I'm just gonna say this dot white equals true. So when that object is set up, it automatically thinks it's white. And then what I did down here is I said, if this dot white equals true, then C is 0. And then we're going to switch this dot white to false because it's no longer true. This dot white equals false. And then the same thing here. Switch this one, this dot white equals true. So if it's white, you go black. If it's black, you go white. Let's hope that works. No, it doesn't work. Let's see if we're actually detecting a click. Okay, so something's not firing. And it's not detecting the click because I'm not getting anything from the console here. So
I do the distance parameter wrong.
I don't think so because d equals distance mouse x mouse y this dot width. Oh yeah, here it is. You're not checking for the width and the height. You're checking for the x and the y. Because you're checking this x and y compared to this x and y. So let's see if that-
Okay, I just tried it. It works. Thank you.
yeah. There we go. That was it. So maybe that original code would actually work. Let's try it. I'm going to try that. C equals 235. Else C equals. Yeah, the code you had before does work. So you don't have to create the variable, the Boolean variable this dot white. I don't know why I did that. Must have had a reason. But no, you had a really good, that was even a better solution than the one I came up with. Who else is
Thanks.
that? You're welcome. Someone else has to need help. Don't be shy.
I need help.
Uh-huh. Let me. You go to, okay, save yours.
Yeah, it's a,
I'll find you here. There you are. Okay, so it switches, but then it doesn't switch back.
yeah,
That's the
That's-
problem.
yeah.
Okay. So button back click.
I tried the disk dot bg equals true, and then else is false, and it wasn't working. So I was like,
The
not
thing
sure.
you're missing here is that you're not checking to see what color something is already. So does that make sense? You're checking for the click, but then you need to check for one more thing. You need to check and see what color is it at the moment. Because if it's black, you want to turn it white. If it's white, you want to turn it black. So what's happening here is that if you click on there, it turns it to black, but if you notice, if you click outside, it turns it to white.
Right.
But that's not, and then wait, just stop doing, there we go. So what you need is something that's, it's because you're just checking to see if it's been clicked on, and if it's been clicked on, then it turns to black. If it hasn't been clicked on, it turns to white. What you need is something in here that's going to check and see what color it is and then change it. So you're going to say, if the background color is equal to white, then make it equal to black. Otherwise, make it equal to white. You need one more curly brace in here. Does that make sense? Because you want to check and see which color it is. Not, you want to check to see if it's clicked on, but you also want to check and see what color it is so you can switch it to the next one. So there you go. And then nothing
Okay.
happens outside of it.
Yeah, I felt like it was something small, but I couldn't really.
It's just a matter of working out the logic. Yeah, it takes time.
Yeah, it's tricky at times.
Yeah, it's a little tricky.
Oh yeah, thank you. It works now.
Sure.
I need help too.
Okay. Let me go find you. Where? Oops. That's not what I wanted. Hold on. Okay. Where's Alexa? There you are. Okay, you saved it, right?
Yeah, it's that one.
Okay, so let's see what's going on here. You've got a global variable for the color. That's good. Okay. So, oh, you're checking. Oh, okay. Here's something. You're creating another button inside of mouse pressed. You've already created the object up here. So you don't need to do that again. I don't know if that's what's causing the problem, but let's take this out. What you wanted to do there is you're checking for the circle as well. You're not checking for a rectangle, but that's okay. Let D equals distance mouse X, mouse Y. Sorry, I'm blinking. This dot X, this dot Y. And then we check and see if it's close. And okay, I don't think this is going to work. One thing you're doing here is you're checking for the background color. If it's true, up here, you haven't set it to true or false. You set it to 255, that value here. So this is not going to evaluate to true or false. This is going to evaluate to 255, which isn't true or false. It's just a number. So what you need here is to just check to see if color background, is it 255 or is it 0? So you can just check for that variable. If 255 is, if color background is 255, then, and we don't need that line of code, make it 0. Else, you don't need this because it's the only other option is 0. So if it's white, turn it black. Otherwise, turn it white. Let's see if this works. Oops, let's see, line 38, semicolon. Oh, we have a semicolon. I did that. Okay. Okay, we've got console here. This was expecting a number. Received an empty variable instead. Oh, you did the same thing as Wyatt did. What you need to do, you're checking for this dot X and this dot Y inside the mouse press function. This dot, anything this dot only works inside of the class because it's only referring to the object itself. It's not available to the rest of the program. It only lives inside of the object. So what you need to do is create a new method, a new function up here that'll do everything you put in mouse pressed. So we're going to say click. I'm going to call it click. And then I'm going to transfer all of this code here over here. And then let me just run it, make sure. Okay, and then we're going to call it here. Button dot click. So whenever the mouse press gets clicked on, this button object is going to run its click code here. There we go. Now it works. Did you see that? Did you see? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you need to have a separate method that checks, because you would need each one of them to check themselves. If you had more than one button, you don't want to put it in mouse press because you want each of them to check themselves. You don't want it checking all of them inside mouse press. You just want them to check each individually.
All right, thank
Oh, you're welcome. Okay. Ooh, Wyatt, you got the second one done? Good job. Nice. Alexa, wrong. So if you're done with this one, you can move on to the next one, which is using that same class. You'll modify the class. You're going to make two of them that each do something a little bit different. And you should be able to use the same class for both of them. You shouldn't have to write another class. So you'll need each button is going to need something to identify it as either the white button or the black button. And then it does something different based on which button it is. Okay.
But we have to use the same class, like the same object, so to speak, huh?
Yeah, start with the same class. You'll have to modify it a bit, but you should only have to have one class that creates two different types of buttons. So if you, like, for example, gave the button an ID number, one would be the black and two would, one would be the white, two would be the black, something like that. So that when it's clicked, it checks to see what kind of button it is and then does what that button is supposed to do.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm. Wyatt, since you're finished, you can go ahead and log out. I just want to point out here for the project, I've down here, I've created a page with some videos that walk you through creating the game. As an example of the game. And then I have a playlist of, I think, about 5 videos that walk you through each step along the way of creating this game. So it's going to make it a lot easier for you.
All right.
Cool.
Have a good week then.
Good job. You too.
Bye.
Bye-bye. This is great. You guys are doing great. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I see Joaquin finish the second one. Good job, Joaquin.
Thank you.
Okay, so you're welcome to go. Just check out these rain catcher videos. So it'll help you a lot with creating the game.
Okay, sounds good. I'll see you next week. Take care.
You
Bye.
too. Bye.
Professor Rusty.
Yeah.
So I made it work, but it only works once.
Okay, let's see.
Let me save it real quick.
Okay. Only works once. That's interesting. Let's see. Ah, huh. Okay, let's see. Making two buttons. Got your color. Um, that fill. Um, okay. Not totally sure here, but notice if I click on the white one first and then it goes to this one, I can't switch back to white. Whereas if I click on the black one, I can switch back to white. So there's something going on with the one that switches to white, I think, or the one that switches to black. I don't know. You're firing off both of these at the same time. But that's not so bad because you're hold on. Okay, so if this this color C is true and color C is false. One thing I'm noticing here is that you're checking for this dot color C if it's true or false, but up here you set it to a number value, which is not a true or false value. I don't know if you know if that's doing it or not. But set the color to white. Color C is false. And then down here, you're saying if color C, well, you're checking for if color C is true in I don't know. Somehow I think this is the problem. You're passing in. Oh no, I'm sorry. Okay, you've got two variables called color C, and I don't know if that's causing the problem because I was assuming it was taking on the number 255, but I guess it's not because you're referring to this dot color C, which is being passed in as true. Okay, never mind. This dot color C is different from color C. Okay,
It's
never
kind of
mind.
confusing though, huh? Because they are named the same.
They name the same thing. Kind of confusing. So you're checking to see, you're turning it. You don't have an else statement. I think that's probably, that might be what's going on. Because you're switching it to false, but you don't have anything that switches it back to true. Does that make sense? So once you switch them both to false, then they're always going to be false and they're never going to go back to true.
Oh, okay. So it's not like going in the circle.
No. So really what you want to do is you can do this by creating just one function. You don't have to create two separate functions. And then that function checks to see, I'm trying to think here. That function checks to see what kind of button am I? you know, you give each button some sort of ID and you say, you know, what kind of button am I? Am I a white button or am I a black button? And if I'm a white button, I'm going to do this. If I'm a black button, I'm going to do this other thing.
So instead of using the boolean in the if statement, I should be using sort of the, like, if I'm the white rectangular or the black one. No.
Let me pull up the one I did just because I'm starting to blank on.
Mm,
Okay, so what I did is I passed in a color and it's pretty simple, really. Oh no, actually, I'm totally wrong. It's actually pretty simple. If it's clicked on, just change the color. That's all you. That's actually all you have to say. If it's clicked on, just change the color. So let me go back to yours. I'm just going to comment all this out. I'm going to say click let me grab this. So if it's clicked on, then just say color C equals this dot color C. And that's all you have to do. And then instead of this, so you were kind of overthinking it.
I thought about that too.
Yeah,
I was thinking it too hard.
button 1 dot click, button 2 dot click. See if that works. I got an error. My message is not a valid color representation. Oh, because you've got it as, okay, so you need each one to have its own color and you fill that in, right? Okay, so I just called the wrong variable here. It should be, what is it? Fill R.
Oh,
R. Yeah. So just should be fill R.
oh, that makes sense. Okay, yay.
Yeah. So just the next step you need to do is figure out how to turn the border white on the black button so that you can see it when the background is black. I think you can figure that out.
Okay, I'll try that.
Yeah.
Thank
Okay.
you, Professor Rusty.
Sure. So Wrong and Laksa, you got yours done? Great. So just make sure you check out the, before you go, I just want to point out, I've got a page in Canvas that has videos that walk you through the rain catcher project. It's going to make your life a lot easier if you watch those videos and follow along. Okay.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Gotcha. All right.
I got it.
You got it. That's great.
Professor Rusty,
Yeah.
before we go, I wanted to ask you if I could schedule an appointment with you.
Yeah, sure. Let's see. Do you want to meet tomorrow? Like before noon?
Can we do it on Friday maybe?
Yeah, we can do it on Friday. It would have to be after 2 o'clock.
Okay, that would be fine.
Okay.
I just wanted to talk about my classes and about how, because I attended the meeting about the masters and stuff,
Oh, cool.
but I would like to get a little bit more info about that.
Yeah, that'd be great. So what did we say?
I think you said 2.
2? 2 would be fine.
Okay.
Okay, I'll send you a Zoom link.
Okay. Thank you so much, Professor.
Yeah, no problem. And I don't know if you heard before, but I have a page in Canvas with videos to walk you through the rain catcher project.
Yeah, I heard about that. I'll definitely use that.
Yeah.
I can also use if I want to, I can add images to it, right? Because I was thinking about
Oh
doing
yeah.
a little basket and strawberries or something like that.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, go for it. That would be fun.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem. I'll see you on Friday.
Okay. See ya. Have a nice day.
You too. I'll be right back, guys. Okay, I'm back. Jamie, you got it. Good job.
I think I have it, but I don't know. I think there should be an easier way to do the fill and the stroke, right? Than what I have.
Let's see, but you made it work, you said. Let me take a look. If you made it work, you made it work. Let's see.
Yeah, it shows up with 2 white boxes, but when there it goes.
Oh, it's not clicking over every time. Huh, that's weird. It only works some of the time. Oh, I think your clickable area is
Off.
off. Yeah, I think that's it. That's okay. That's easy to fix. Let's see. How'd you do the stroke?
Yeah, I just fill them in.
That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, normally you would want to like keep that kind of code inside of the object so that it knew how to draw itself. So you would put it near the where you draw the rect, so probably that would be, you'd have to have some if statements. So if I'm white, draw a black line. If I'm black, draw a white line. But what you did works. Whatever you got to do to make it work, is what you do. Ah, my cat is so annoying. Eating my flowers. Stop it. Stop. Sorry. Stop.
Oh no, it's okay.
Get off the table. Yeah. So I think it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah. So just add it to the collection and you're done. And then just make sure you grab those, watch those videos for the project.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Good job, Rebecca.
Bye.
Bye. See you later.
Yep.